Hi, all. My name is Jim Coley, past international director, past region advisor, past district governor for District 35. And tonight I have the honor of interviewing our international director from our region, Region 5, Monnica Rose, DTM. She's joining us live and in person at our district conference, May 5th through 7th at the Abbey in Fontana, Wisconsin. Welcome, Monica.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Are you excited about coming to Wisconsin?
I am thrilled. I am so excited to come to Wisconsin. I am really excited that it's not going to be snowing, albeit I would have enjoyed the snow as well. I have been to Wisconsin before, so I'm thrilled to be able to meet our members again and to make new friends.
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about where you're coming from? Where do you live right now?
Oh, Jim, you're starting this interview off with some of the toughest questions. Just
We'll
to
get
get
there.
comfortable. Not tough at all. I am coming from Dallas, Texas. I live in a suburb. The city is Rowlett, Texas, but Dallas is the next biggest city that I'm coming from.
Okay. Well, you know you're coming into Packer country, so just be prepared.
I won't mention the Dallas.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
In terms of your life in Toastmasters, I'd like to ask you a little bit about your life outside of Toastmasters. Can you tell us a little bit about other organizations that you're involved with?
Yes, I'm happy to. Some of the activities or other organizations that I'm a member of is one that empowers women to lead and mentor. It's called Women of Visionary Influence. I am pretty active in that organization. And believe it or not, in Toastmasters, I was fully engaged in this other organization. It's the National Association of Black Scuba Divers. I got certified in 1997, and I've had an opportunity to just have fun underwater, see lots of colorful life there. And at some point I will get back to diving, but that really was one thing that I really had to put on hold because of my love and enjoyment in Toastmasters. So
Wow.
thanks for that question. That gave me a moment to reflect back.
Can you tell me about some of your most interesting dives that you've done while scuba diving?
Wow. One of the best dives I've had was in Bonaire. I had a chance to see so much underwater life. This is where I learned that a seahorse, the male carry the eggs. So the dive master got us down underwater. We were really comfortable, and they would point out different things. And this means look at, so he said, look, and then he pointed to the male seahorse and did, I'll have to show like this. And when we got on land, now, underwater, you can't talk. So once we had to do all of our hand signals and looking at the different things. And once we got on land and took the gear off, then the dive master was able to tell us all of what we were looking at while we were underwater. But one of the most beautifulest things that I saw on that trip was a flounder approached a rock, and I just happened to be right above the rock at that moment when the flounder came, and I saw all of these beautiful hues of magenta and blue. And this is how the periphery of the fish, how it was moving through the water. And I guess that was propulsion, that's the word. But it approached that rock and landed right on the rock, and it's a chameleon, I learned. So once it landed, it looked just like the rock, and you just had to be there. So I was doing this to my friends who were diving with me, and I was pointing, and I tried to flip my fin and make the flounder move, but it wouldn't move. But after that, I swam off, and then I saw it finally move, I guess because it saw me, and maybe it just didn't want to talk to me. He didn't know I was a Toastmaster.
Well, you might have been dealing with the same issue you have, not a lot to say and fewer hands to work with.
Right on, Jim.
Since we're talking about scuba, can you tell us about some of your other hobbies?
I love to sew. I learned at a young age. My mom was a seamstress, so I learned the knack of sewing. I made all the curtains in my home. Some other hobbies that I have, I love solving Sudoku puzzles. This keeps my mind sharp and makes me use my mental capacity. I also do Sudoku puzzles only in ink. I don't make notes on the side. I make my mind work. One other hobby I'm happy to share about is my love for music. I am a musician. I played the clarinet from 6th grade all through college. So lots of years there. Competitions, we would go to solo ensemble festivals. I marched in the band, so we did the formations on the football field. Just loved, I just happened to be blessed in a lot of areas with a lot of interest.
I'm under the impression that you enjoyed running too.
Oh, you know about that as well. Oh my goodness. I started running in 2012. I remember that so vividly because I joined a women's organization that did running. And you would not believe this either. I hated running. For physical education, I had to run a mile for my PE class. I had a friend that was a runner, so he drugged me the entire mile so I would meet my time requirement and complete the distance. And I don't even know if he knows that I've done all of the half marathons and 10Ks and 5Ks. I don't know if he even knows that, but he was the help that I needed at that moment. But I found the love of running because it was so nice. Once you cross the finish line, I didn't get that runner's endorphins, that runner's high people talk about. It was just the thrill. Every race I signed up for, you get a medal to cross the line because of your accomplishment. You have that recognition. And we call it bling in the circuit or swag, but every runner, you ask them, why do they run? One for the thrill and one for the snag. So, or the swag.
I knew what you meant.
Yep.
There might be another reason why people run, though I don't know how relatable it's going to be. I think you probably know I play ultimate frisbee, or at least I used to. I
Okay.
have to tell you, that is a tough game if you're not a runner. So I took up running mostly because I didn't like being so out of breath when I'm trying to play ultimate frisbee. So it could be one of those things where sometimes people run, they feel really good just because they're not running anymore, but because it also helps them feel not so bad or run down when they're trying to do something very aerobic. That's good. That's awesome. I think you'll find in District 35, we have a number of people who are into scuba diving and a number of people in Toastmasters into running. They might talk you into going for a walk. We'll work that out when you get here and see how it goes. I'm
Oh,
not going to
that'll be
promise that I'll be there. I think they might start at 5:30 in the morning, but we'll see.
okay. I have to make sure I'm ready for it. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm under the impression that you are retired now. Is that true?
that is true.
Can you tell us what you did before you retired?
Before retirement, I worked for an aircraft modification company. We did contract work for the government on airframes for the US Air Force, and then had some very secret airframes that we worked on that I'm not allowed to tell, but they gave me experience in communicating and working with other countries, other cultures, international companies. So for the love of engineering, I got my degree in mechanical engineering and worked for a company that was in California. It was on the B-2 program, if you know the B-2 bomber. And then I worked for the second company, which was on the B-1 bomber. So I was able to see both airframes and what they did for the Air Force. And then I relocated to Texas. So all of my experience after college has been in aircraft modification, which I love the people, I love the work, but happily retired at this moment for 2 years now.
Do you find yourself drawn to paper airplane throwing contests or no?
Not at all. Not at all. In our communication, believe it or not, for communication, we in Toastmasters really talk about understanding your audience, being aware of their needs. In the engineering field, sometimes a mechanical engineer is talking to an electrical engineer or an industrial engineer. No matter what the program is, we know that we hear differently. So a lot of times, Jim, we would take a sheet of paper and draw stickmen or draw diagrams, and we'll ask, so is this clear now, or what else are we missing? But we work until everybody understands the same language, because in our world, we say it's 5 ways to draw a circle.
I have one quick follow-up question before we move on to a beefier subject. for the benefit of our audience, I'm not sure everyone knows what we mean by an airframe. And the only reason I know about what an airframe is because my daughter is dating someone who does exactly that same kind of work today. And he also can't talk about it, but he's at least shared with me what he means when he talks about airframe design. Tell us a little bit about that. What is the airframe in an airplane?
Okay, it's the fuselage. It's the sheet metal that's held together with over 1 million rivets. It's considered a structure able to fly in the air. We look at loads and crashes. So let's relate it to an airplane. You ride on American Airlines, Delta Airlines. Everything has a certain diameter for seats. There's a certain size. The airframe is consisted of rows where the seats are bolted down. And basically, it's something that's aerodynamic. There's a couple of engines that help take it off, but the whole airframe has different components. It's made of different materials, but all working together to make sure it accomplishes its goal. For flight, it could be moving passengers, it could be moving equipment or electronics in my case, but that's the airframe. It's the structure around whatever you're trying to transport.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Now we get to a really tough question. Do you have a message for District 35 that you'd like to share?
Just a quick message on connections and the successful keys that it will take us all. It may be one key that will unlock the door for one person, but one other person might need several keys, and we'll unfold those different keys as we talk about how we communicate as members in District 35 or as leaders, and where we can catapult ourselves beyond the Toastmaster environment. There's so many opportunities. I get excited just talking about the one that may have helped that person just be that much more comfortable in giving that icebreaker speech or that table topics response to the very one who is looking to be a better entrepreneur or be a better spouse. All of those keys are very important, and we have to learn when to use the key and when not to use the key. So that'll be a part of my message. I don't want to spill the beans right now. I want you to come and listen, because I'd love to meet everyone. If I haven't had a chance to say hi, shake a hand, or give a hug, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be embraced in throughout the time there. I think Jim, I think they're going to have me come out a day earlier if I'm able to do that, because during my visit, this is an official visit. So I want to meet as many members as I can to answer any questions that I might be able to do, to talk about the opportunities in the time limit that I have, because we all will be timed. But I just want to just make sure that I am of value, I bring value, and do know that I am totally reachable. If you want to have another visit after my visit to District 35, if someone wants to have maybe a mentoring call for a few minutes, I'm all open to every aspect of meeting our members where they are and what they need. I'm the representative for Region 5, so I'm just excited. I can't wait.
Well, this is awesome. I thank you for your time tonight. This has been an awesome discussion. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And I thank you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. We're old-time friends. Not everyone in the district knows that, and it's always a delight seeing you in person, even though this has also been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Monica. I look forward to seeing you in May.
Thank you as well, Jim. Thank you for taking the time to meet me tonight, and I can't wait to see you in May. Awesome.